everyone. Sorry. Yeah. I just messaged DIAPHRAGMATIC. Jay's coming. Sorry for my delayed start today. I had not only a UPS, but a couple of extra nieces arrive after school today. So a little bit of traffic and noise going on upstairs, but I want to thank you for joining me. I'm a little more colorful than I normally am. I am wearing, let's call it my bliss scarf. I have a very good friend that crafts these with a friend. And today is about mental health. And this is going to play into one of my tips once we get going here. I'm just going to share this out in Facebook land. If you are joining me, if someone could please just let me know if they see and hear me okay on the other end. Fantastic. Okay. If you are joining me today and you have questions, which I always invite towards the end of my sessions, please make sure that you are joining me from the main Lifepro fitness page, the public page. If you are commenting on one of the shares that I've done within the group, it very likely will not come through. You got to be on the main feed. So make sure that you're joining me. And let's talk very briefly about my setup today. Today I'm using two stools because I have a couple of relaxation moves that I think you're going to enjoy. And I've got a few notes today. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So every year when we start being more mindful, the awareness days bring it more into the forefront of our minds, perhaps. But it's about being consistent and practicing these good techniques regularly. And there isn't any one way to de-stress or improve your mental or your physical health. It's very much a personal decision, and a lot of it is driven by past experience, current health. When we get into mental health, you know, everybody knows the physical and the mental to a degree interact with each other, but there's a few unique things that I have experienced probably long before I even understood many of them in the mental health aspects of the benefits that you can gain from incorporating vibration into your wellness. I am not seeing any comments. And if you are joining me, let me know this is coming through. I can see myself on the other end. Yeah, I'm live. Okay. So let's just get started. Today I'm working on my trusty dusty Rumblex Plus, but as always, my sessions are in oscillating movement. Oscillating is more naturally received by our body and our central nervous system. It's how we physically walk across the floor. So vibration is the larger term in how these vibration plates are referred to. But within the world of vibration plates, there are different movement types and combinations of those movements depending on the model you have. Betsy, thank you, girl, for saving me. I appreciate it. Today I am starting seated with a warm-up, and I've got some notes because today I went a little bit more extensive. You know, sometimes mental health is something that you're dealing with on a regular basis. Sometimes it's a moment in time. And for some of the tips I'm showing you today, you may not always be near your vibration machine when you need a little relief. So as I've talked about in past sessions with fitness or some of the conditions and symptoms that I cater to, we're going to start seated. And if you're coming from a place of chronic or poor health, starting seated is a good way to just introduce yourself to how this feels, what happens at this speed, and without committing to what we refer to as full weight bearing. For those of you looking for bone density benefits on the side, bone density isn't a setting. It's not a movement type. It's about bearing your mass regularly. So there's never any one benefit when you're using your vibration plate. Often there are multiple benefits regardless of your goals in using it. So for today, I posted a little comment in the event, which I'm just going to reiterate. It's hard to read when my paper is sitting on my lap. We're going to start with a positioning tip. And before I get into the purposes here, I want us to be mindful of our posture. We want a nice straight spine. That core is engaged. Our shoulders are back. In layman's terms, we're not all slouchy. Make sure we're breathing and put those feet about hip width apart. I'm just using oscillating manual mode, which means when you turn on pretty much every Lifepro model and hit start, you're in manual oscillating. So at this point, I am at speed 25. Mine has 60 speeds. So we're about a third of the way up. And our body, you know, from a stress and coping perspective, this rhythmic movement speaks to our systems. And the goal today is calming those systems. This is the comment that I put in the live. So I want you to start thinking more calming and less working out from a perspective of mental health, whether you're stressed out, whether you're dealing with a diagnosis. There's lots of different reasons that we often throughout the period of our lives have mental health concerns. The gentle rhythmic movement, particularly of oscillating, typically work better than aggressive stimulation, very, very fast or a high intensity movement. So if you're using a vertical style plate, the pulsation setting, the higher settings can be soothing for some applications, but sometimes for mental health, it's your body doesn't seem to be as receptive to this type of movement as it does that sway, if that makes sense. Intensity on oscillating is wider foot placement. So if you're used to typically riding with a wider foot position, typically for the feel good, the symptom management, and today's session mental health, position those feet more naturally hip width apart. If you still find this is more aggravating than soothing, bring the feet closer together. And a little bit of a faster speed is going to be more soothing, more relaxing than slow, choppy, destabilizing speeds. So for mental health, relaxation, and for those of you that are a little bit more targeted, this central nervous system calming, if we wanted to refer to it at that. So the potential benefits, and we're just going to sit here for a minute or two and be mindful of our core. We're going to be breathing. I want you to know it helps calm an overactive nervous system. So if you're super stressed out, you're dealing with sensory issues, these types of things, a vibration plate can kind of ground you. And I see this with a lot of my special needs kids because they never want to get off it. Today's purpose is shorter sessions, 5 to 8 minutes max. I don't want you exerting yourself and overdoing it on time or intensity. This can improve the mental clarity, the cognitive. There's many reasons biologically that is happening, but it's an easy way to boost that. We're going to encourage parasympathetic response, that rest, digest, whatever the focus is. May reduce body tension. I have to say may, but I know this from experience. It's going to reduce tension and that physical guard and protect. When our body is in fight or flight mode, it tenses up and guards and protects all the time, especially with my new users on vibration plates. So keep those feet closer together and start with a faster speed. This can be helpful after those stressful days, after stressful events. Maybe you have trouble sleeping, so less is more, a little bit before bed. It's joint friendly. So if you're also dealing with inflammation, arthritic issues, this isn't something high impact that's going to contribute to issues you may already be trying to consider. And small doses work best. If you're starting and you're doing this in addition to other activities, keep it minimal, under 5 minutes. If you're a seasoned vibration plate user, 8 to 10 would probably be fine. For those of you that I know inevitably are going to say, well, how often and how long? For mental health, just like a physical symptom, swelling, pain, let your body guide you. So if you're feeling all tensed up and your aches and pains are from the stressful day and the mental health is all over the place, give it a minute or two. That rhythm, that soothing, rocking rhythm is going to chill you out quickly. Coaching tips, as I said, lower intensity. We're going to avoid pushing through fatigue and overstimulation. We are going to move on to some standing exercises. We're going to progress to a second seated exercise. Now that we're grounded, we feel comfortable with our speed. We know where our feet is. That could have been a minute. I talked more than a minute. I want you to just start some very slow, purposeful foot pumps. Lifting the ball of the foot so we're on the heel. Reverse, raising up like we're putting on some high-heeled shoes or up on the balls of our feet and resting back down. You could do that double time, slow it with your breathing. This is going to boost blood flow, flexibility, and stability in the ankles. It's a rhythm, so it contributes again to that. Short, frequent sessions we know are best versus long, hard, intense. And as I always mention, many people overdo it, not realizing the internal mechanisms, how they're responding. And it's easy to overload from a mental health perspective as well. Add your vice, and this is the part where my bliss scarf from my girlfriend Susie comes in. These are almost exactly the colors that everything in my house would be if my husband would allow me to be. I have some music tracks that I listen to. I'm not going to be playing those on camera today, and they're certainly not my dogs that you hear in the background. But what we're going to do for this first one, after we do the foot pumps, we are going to stand. My bliss scarf is putting me in a blissful state of mind. It's making me think of vivid colors and flowers, and I'm visualizing things in my yard. I like trying to take a mental exit, whether that's music. Maybe I've got some aromatherapy going. Whatever your go-to is a great way. Red light. You've got other tools from Lifepro that you can incorporate to ramp up this experience, which is what it is. So first two moves down. I want you to now stand. Okay. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart. Knees are slightly bent. If you're feeling your head and your ears jostle about, you're probably standing taller. The taller you stand, lock the legs just as an experiment. Might feel great on the butt and it might feel like it's doing something, but you're driving all of the movement. Your body's moving like a pendulum. Bend those knees slightly. We want to make sure, again, the core is in nice alignment. We've got a nice line from our shoulders from our hip down to the ankle bone. And just focus on some good, deep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. For those of you that followed my block therapy in February, in through the nose, out through the nose. Visualize the breath going in deep down into the diaphragm and exhale. Okay? So we could do this for maybe 30 seconds to a minute. If it feels good, I've been doing a lot of lifting today, maybe some pelvic tilts, just something to add a little bit of loosey-goosey. All the while, your central nervous system is swaying back and forth. We don't want too much intensity. If you feel like you need to guard and protect, bring your feet closer. Your body's sending you a signal. Listen to it. So this first one's going to be a forward hinge. The reason for my stool in front of me is we're gonna bend over and target the lower back and the hips. I've done this in fitness sessions and symptom sessions where we go like this, but I want you to get a little bit deeper, almost like you're doing a standing cat-cow. Another bar height stool, the edge of the counter. He's just going to give you a little bit more stability. The knees are just undone. Okay. You can do all kinds of things here. We can go forward slightly. You'll feel it more in the calves, like a stretch. We can come backward. And as you do this, you'll notice the vibration. Just those subtle little different angles that you're making are targeting you in different areas. I got a whole lot of something going on my right side. Everybody's telling me it's this post-50 menopausal, perimenopausal thing. My fave move lately is in this position. Oh, stop. Okay. Someday I'll find the remote. Back up to 2025. Is I do little side twists. So I'm trying to touch my ear to my hip this way, that way. Such a wonderful little stretch. Maybe it's cat-cows. Tilting the pelvis forward. Backward. If you don't have two stools, you can just, once you're standing, use what you have. But your stool can be a wonderful tool, much more than sitting. A variation, now I'm almost a little tall for this, but it's better for me done on a counter. But if you come down a little bit more onto the forearms, you can get a lot deeper, almost stretching that lower back and hamstrings. I love this. 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. Whatever feels good. Okay. So now we're going to stand back up. Now that we're kind of loosey-goosey and everything's moving and flowing, if you feel comfortable, I would like you to take on a little bit more intensity. A little bit more means you're moving half an inch to an inch outward. This is not about high intensity. See how it feels. If it's too choppy, too intense, resume whatever feels comfortable and bring those feet closer. I just want to do 30 seconds, maybe 45, with a little bit more movement. Shake things up a little bit more. Maybe we're doing some torso turns. Feel good, not fitness. The mental needs it too, okay? Maybe we're just swaying, weight shifts, like we're going for a little walk. Okay, this is a great way to start or finish, okay? If you're feeling, again, too intense, you are always in control. Bring those feet a little bit closer. As a variation, exact same lollygagging we were just doing. Bring those feet closer. Bring the speed up this time instead. So instead of just standing wider, let's go a little faster. So we're back at our natural hip width apart or closer. And you'll notice as you increase speed slightly, it's smoother. It's less choppy. And now our central nervous system is going, we got to move faster. And it's adapting and it's adjusting and it's letting the stress go and it's focusing on other more pleasant rocking and swaying things. So our very last exercise doesn't even entail the machine. Whether you prefer to sit, just do a couple more breathing exercises. If you're a new user, you might be feeling some tingly, some pins and needles. Probably the number one common feedback that I get when I introduce people to a platform the first time is I feel lighter. I feel like a weight has been lifted. And whether it's the fact that your muscles are now engaged and the systems are flowing better and the blood's oxygenated, or whether we've alleviated some of the stress and the tension in the muscles. I think it's a combination of things, and I think the way our body responds to this stimulus is different for everyone, but it is generally very positive. If you're having a negative experience and you are dealing with mental health issues or symptoms of any kind physically, less is more. And I highly advise you taking a feel-good, a wellness approach. For the first week or two, just give your body and its systems a chance to assimilate to this new stimulus. And I assure you, versus trying, say, even a fitness position, even if you are conditioned in the first session, your body's going to feel more grounded, more natural in the environment that you've exposed it to. And I think you're going to find as you progress to fitness, the feel good, the fitness, you don't need to do separate things. You're gaining benefits from both. But it's absolutely okay to take, for those of you that are my workout gurus, you don't have to be a workout junkie. This might be a good warm up or complement to other things that you're doing. For those of my competitive athletes out there that train regularly, stress can come from competition and events and just, the discipline it takes on some of these food plans and regimes. So make sure that you're giving yourself that balance as well. And please just don't look at your vibration plate as a workout tool. So other tips for Mental Health Awareness Month, just a big reminder. The goal is calming that system, not working it out. I've had numerous arguments over the years. I feel better when I work out, and everybody knows scientifically that working out reduces stress. It absolutely does. But sometimes, life gets in the way, or sometimes, maybe I'm not a person that has the discipline and I'm not a gym goer. And I'm just looking for a way to manage my stress. So a vibration plate, if you can manage the stress and you know, a lot of the mental blocks that may be prohibiting you from moving forward into an exercise routine, maybe you just progress with your plate. So you are only limited by your imagination and your range of motion, and I'm here to fill in the blanks on the difference. So Betsy, again, thank you for joining me. If you are joining me from one of the Lifepro pages that I have shared this live to, please, I invite you to join me on the main Lifepro fitness page if you'd like to get a comment over my way. I am going to polish my notes up a little bit today, and I am going to put some posts into the event and into the feed for those of you that, you know, may want to reference this later. We did a total of 5 exercises today, you know, anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 to 3 minutes per exercise. And any of the variations we did today could be their own thing. You know, maybe you just need a few minutes on the back because the sciatic's kicking, or, you know, maybe you just want to get the blood flow because you're heading out to the garden and you want to boost your balance and your range of motion. All the time that you spend on your vibration plate contributes to better mental health for many of the reasons that we went through today. So thank you for joining me. Thank you, Betsy, for being my sound check producer lady, and for being consistent. Consistency is hard if we're dealing with mental health or physical symptoms. So, you know, what do they say? It takes 21 days to make or break a habit. So sometimes it's the complexity of what we think we need to do. We freak ourselves out before we even do it. Try 1 minute a day for the next 5 to 7 days, and tell me that you don't feel better. Keep the intensity low, those feet no more than hip width apart or closer. Try a mid speed. Whether you're just standing passively seated on a stool, try putting in 1, maybe even 2 minutes if I were to nag you for the next, like I say, 5 days to a week, and see if your physical and mental health feel a little bit better. Don't beat yourself up if you are not as consistent as you'd like. I think sometimes the consistency is a mental game on our own part where, you know, oh, I got to do my 10 minutes or my 15 minutes. Who's to say 2 to 3 minutes can't be? It's certainly 1,000 times more beneficial than just heading to the sofa. So thank you for joining me tonight. If you have questions and you're watching this on a recorded basis, or perhaps Betsy thinks of something she'd like to ask later on, tag me at Debby with a Y, and I will happily get a response to you within the next day. I wish you a good rest of the afternoon. I'm doing an exclusive, not live now, in the Wellness Circle. Lifepro does have a on-demand exclusive club via membership. So I look forward to seeing some of you in that group here on the top of the hour. Thanks for having taking some time out of your day for me, Betsy. This was a great session with a lot of good suggestions. I appreciate that, Betsy, and thank you for being consistent and showing up. That's 90% of it. I can give you all the ideas in the world, but I can't make you do it. So thanks for the consistency. And if you need some help with that, reach out. I'm happy to provide short sessions. And I find with the majority of my audience that don't have that exercise background, that's a more manageable bite to take out of the equation to start getting consistent with your use. Have a great rest of your evening, and don't work too hard.